You have to keep what you want to be in the front of your mind, because you're going to always lose it within the suffering. And suffering, people always hear me say suffering, it's not just physical, man. There's so many forms of suffering out here, it's not even funny. And most of them are not physical. Most of them are psychological. So I'm going through this race. I get to mile 200 of my second Moab, and I'm doing well, but I'm in extreme pain, man. My fucking ass is raw. My damn feet are broken. I have 6 layers of tape on my, it's just, I'm jacked, man. I have 40 miles to go. I'm having this woe is me. Why the fuck am I out here? I'm at high elevation. I can't breathe real well. Everything's wrong. So I'm with my pacer. His name is Mike. And I see this porta potty of sorts. And I'm like, I just need to get off the fucking course. So I lie to Mike. I'm like, hey, man, I got to go to the bathroom. And I go in this outdoor house. So there's a bathroom in it. So I went in there, and I'm in there, and I'm thinking, I'm like, God, man, I just wish I would fall into this fucking toilet. You know how like big sinkholes? I just wish I fall in there, man, and maybe I'll break my leg, or maybe something would happen where I can't finish the race. And as I'm talking to myself like this, out of nowhere, Goggins appears in my mind. He's like, man, are you really fucking talking like this, bro? Imagine if you were to fucking be able to have people hear your dialogue right now, man. You came out here in 2019 and this course kicked your ass. And all you wanted to do was come back here. You trained on fucked up knees. You put so many miles in. You visualized all this. You've run this course 1,000,000 times. And now you're in a fucking porta potty like a little fucking bitch, whining and crying to yourself, lying to your pacer that you got a shit. So basically, what happened was Goggins got a hold of me and knifed David Goggins and stuck him in that porta potty, and Goggins came out. And when Goggins came out with 40 miles to go, a 240-mile run, it was the most epic ending of any race I can remember. That last 40 miles was something that I can't even describe. But what I will tell you is, once again, it shows you what the determined mind can do. There's no David Goggins. There's just David fucking Goggins. And that's what people don't get, man. David Goggins just changed his fucking mindset in that porta potty. My feet still hurt. My back was still aching. The pack was still heavy. Everything was the same. The only thing that changed was how I approached the situation. I no longer wanted to be a victim of that race, a victim in my mind. I wanted to dominate when most people would refuse to dominate. I wanted to dominate under the most harsh environment. And that's what happened.
And your pacer, Mike, I mean, you describe him as a fellow savage. What was his response to this when he saw you come out?
Well, you know, he was used to me for about a period of an hour and a half, 2 hours, just being like a little punk. I would walk, I would run, I would kind of lean over. When I came out, he didn't know the David Goggins thing. I hadn't talked to him about that there's another person that lies deep within inside me. So when I started running, he couldn't believe that I started dropping my pacer. Think about this. I'm 200 miles in. No sleep breaks, fucked up ankle, and he knows I'm jacked up. And this guy who has run, I think about 60, 70 miles with me at the time, he knows I'm 200 miles into this. When you start dropping a guy, and he knows he's a savage, he's run several ultra races, he knows how broke a man is at 200 miles. I'm throwing down 7-minute miles, man, and I'm leaving him. I know what he's thinking about because I know he's a savage. And I know what I'm trying to do to Mike. I'm using Mike as the ultimate ammunition because two savages. And one savage knows that the other savage has gone 200 miles. I'm fucking with this guy now. I'm using him as fuel. I'm using his anger, his hate. He's mad at me now. He's mad at himself. I'm using it. This is my boy. But I'm using him. I'm dragging that shit. I want him to be mad at me so he can bring the best out of me. And that's what happens. He's mad, so we get down to the end of this fucking hill. Big descent down, and he's like, he gets on the phone. He calls his wife. He calls my fucking girl, Jennifer. He's losing his shit. Like, what the fuck? He's like, this guy just fucking dropped me. He's literally out of his mind. He can't believe what he saw. And then from then on, man, the next probably 15 miles or so before the next checkpoint, the real race was gone. Even though it was still going on, it was me and Mike. And there was two guys out there barely talking, just going at it. And that's what I wanted. And that's what Mike was thinking. He never told me really what he was thinking. He showed me, how the fuck are you able to do this? And I pissed him off. And it was beautiful.
It's like when you see someone do something, it means more than when someone tells you something. And I know in Can't Hurt Me, you talk about the concept of taking souls. And I'm not sure you were trying to take Mike's soul in that moment, but if you could describe what that concept means.
It's kind of like that. So the basic of taking souls is when the normal human being, being in the situation that you're in, would be defeated. And the person or people with you know that in that situation, a normal human being would be defeated in that situation. And you rise above the normal human being. So it makes all the people around you feel lesser than. Therefore, you own a part of their soul. Because in that moment, and I got it from going through Navy SEAL training, I watched all those Navy SEAL instructors who had gone through Hell Week, and now they're putting me in my class through Hell Week. I'm watching all of them because they all know at Wednesday we're all defeated. Everybody's fucked up on Wednesday. And it's Wednesday. But I got the information. I know where you were on Wednesday. And I know what you're thinking I should be at Wednesday. I should be as fucked up as you are. I'm not gonna give you that. I'm gonna show you what Wednesday is for me. Wednesday for me is not Wednesday for you. And so when I did that, I saw the instructors' faces when I was strong as fuck. I was at hour 80, 90 of Hell Week. I was like at minute 1. It was like Hell Week had just started. So why you take someone's soul because they don't know how you're able to do this at that state of mind, that state of being, that kind of cold and misery, but you find more when no one else can. A smart human being will see that and you will elevate them. And that's what I did to my boat crew. My boat crew was fucked up, but they saw my elevation. So they said, fuck, if this guy can do what one man can do, another can do. So they elevated themselves. But as my boat crew elevated, I saw that everybody else was like, what the fuck is going on? And so we used all of that ammunition, all those sad, long faces, all of that like questioning, what the fuck? And we used it for even more ammunition. So taking souls is when you put yourself in an environment that most people won't succeed in and you thrive in that environment.
Now,